Morning, Tommy. Thanks for your time again. Lots to chat about this week. So, firstly, tell me your thoughts about the draw at Scarborough on Tuesday night.
Well, after a long trip up there on the morning of the game or the afternoon of the game, as it were, I thought I thought we responded excellently well to a poor start, and the poor start was a culmination of things. I mean, with all due respect, the pitch was it's a 3G pitch, it's a council pitch, it's used publicly, and it gets a lot of wear and tear. And I'm not saying they don't look after it, but it's not what I would class as high level graded, artificial surface. That said, these started very very well with a massive wind behind their back. And if you do see the goals, you'll see the wind played a part in it. Whether that blew the goal off the line, I don't know, but something did when the first goal went in. So we responded ever so well to being 2-0 down after 17 minutes, and we actually dominated the rest of the half. And had we gone in 3 or 4-2 up, I don't think anybody would have complained. But again, second half we succumbed to another goal, and even after every manager's conversation at 2-1 is the next goal is the most important, they got it. But one thing I've learned about this group, they won't lie down. Again, we picked the baton back up. The substitutions we made had a really good impact also. And I was delighted actually at the end to come away with it, with the point. But it could easily have been three. We like I said, we had the vast majority of the ball. We had the vast majority of the possession. But Scarborough dug in well. The way they play for the manager is a credit. They are energetic. What I will say is our fans who were there, whilst there was only 60 odd of them, against 1,900 home fans, could be heard and were loud and proud again. And we really appreciate, the effort that he put in to get up there on Tuesday night.
Coulson and Ponch were missing. Any long-term worries or concerns?
Not at all, no. Listen, one of my jobs, the hardest job I have, is picking the team. In fact, picking the bench and the people who we're giving rest to. But if you look forward, we have to plan for not just today and tomorrow. We have to plan for next Saturday, next Tuesday, next Saturday, next Tuesday, all of which are going to be deemed in everybody's eyes massive games. So, we need our best players fit as often as we can. And I listen to the medical people. I listen to Hugo and Mark and myself, my own eyes, what we see. We know our players better than anybody else, I believe. And I think some need rest, some need revitalising because of the energy that they use in games, and to just expect you can wind the mouse up and let him out every 3 days and he perform the same, it's folly. So from that point of view, we're very mindful of the teams we pick and the opposition we pick them against. And I thought Ben went in there, and if you watch your highlights, you'll see he's involved whilst he's on the pitch in almost all of our very, very good attacking play. Goldie was excellent from the start of the game and thoroughly deserved his goal. And Kyle McFadden has had definitely the best performance individually for himself since he's been back from his thing. And the fact he got 90 minutes is massive for us. So from that point of view, all in all, if you'd have given me a point as I was getting off the bus, bearing in mind, it's 12 months since Scarborough lost at home, a point's a really, really good point. And if we can back that up at the weekend with a good performance and a good result, then I'll be delighted with the full week's work.
And just to clear up the last sort of bit of uncertainty over who got booked on the touchline on Tuesday between Hugo and yourself, there was one said one said it was you, one said it was Hugo.
Well, I'm starting to believe that if there's a yellow card shown, I'm not sure about this, but I know that because I get the email from the secretary. If there's a yellow card shown, I believe it's the manager that receives it. Whether it's him that's spoken or not, I don't know. But what I do know is I have no idea why we were cautioned, because I wasn't told at the time, and I haven't been told, or it hasn't been shown to me in the report. All it said is that Mr. Widrington was cautioned for dissent either by word or by action. Well, anybody who's at the game will see I actually stood furthest away from the linesmen at all times. And I was actually having a good chat with their fans. They had some great banter and what have you. And they were unlike some like throwing stuff at me, they were actually chatting to me and telling me how good our side was. But I did ask the linesman on one occasion, why is that not a corner? He saved it at the end. Josh Barrett had a shot, the goal, he made a great save. On their commentary guy says, oh, it's a great save. So I said, look, he saved it, it's corner. And that's the only reason. But when I asked at the end of the game, could you just tell me why I was yellow carded? The referee's reply to me was, I don't know, I wasn't there. I mean, it's more than ambiguous, but it suggests to me you can give yellow cards and not explain, because in the email from the FA to our secretary and then to me, there is no explanation of to what I've said. It just says the code is it's dissent by word or by action. Well, I didn't use foul and abuse of language, and I didn't persistently complain about anything. Like I said, other than their goals, we had the ball most of the time again. So from that point of view, it's getting a little bit irksome for me. And I'll miss a game because of it, because there's a Tottenham system, and I think we're at 3 or 4 for the bench. Like I said, I get them, but it isn't always me. I'm not the only one who is asking the questions. I do know that I will be suspended for a game. We'll see which one it is.
Perfect. So surrounding that, we had the excitement of the FA Cup draw for the second round on Monday, and then on the yesterday we found out that there was going to be live coverage on the BBC. What's that meant for you and the team?
Well, it's an excellent achievement for the lads to get to the level that we've got to in the competition first and foremost. So congratulations to them. I said before the Doncaster game, look, win, lose or draw, that could have been their day in the sun on that arena, in that environment of the competition against that level of opposition. And they've only gone and won, haven't they? So we get another day in the sun, which is fantastic to have it at the Walks. I think it'll be heaving. I think it'll be a great atmosphere. I know there's a little bit of rivalry and banter going to go on between one or two people on their bench and our faithful, because of the history of where they've worked and played. But that's part and parcel of football. But look, to have it live on national television and the Beeb, as it were, so absolutely fantastic for the football club, for the fans, for the players. Listen, I genuinely believe we've got players who need to play on a bigger stage. Hopefully it's with us in the future, but they're going to get another day in the sunshine. I watch Match of the Day the same as everybody else does, and I can tell you, people at high levels of the game in jobs that ought to recruit people into their football club also watch clips like that. So, if we just go about our business the way we have done so far this season and perform to the best of our ability, the lads will do the town, the club and the fans proud, because that's what we do.
Excellent stuff. And games are coming thick and fast, and I think we've got 5 in the next 2 and a bit weeks. What shape is the squad in general after the very late return you had from Scarborough? I think you said 5 a.m. Most players got home that night.
Yeah. I mean, I did. The players might have been 45 to an hour earlier than that, but it's it means that they're not in their bed a long time. So we have to give them the right amount of rest as much as the right amount of training. These lads they're human beings, the same as everybody else, but it is a relentless schedule, like you said. We're Saturday, Tuesday, up until the week leading into the FA Cup game, and then again afterwards for as long as you can see at the moment, because we have progressed in the cup competition. Now, if we were to progress further in the FA Trophy as well, that'll knock league games, into Tuesdays. So already, Julie and I are trying to plot our way through January at the moment on a Tuesday night. So from the fact that it was Scarborough this Tuesday and it's Southport next Tuesday, they're monster journeys. But listen, I'm not going to moan. I wouldn't change places with any manager in our league at this moment in time. We're positioned where we want to be roughly in the league for the games we've played, and we're exactly where we want to be in the FA Cup, and long may that continue. We haven't any injuries as such, touch wood. We've got a lot of fatigue, we've got a lot of tiredness, soreness. I think Saturday's game mentally and emotionally, the 3 days after that, would have taken a lot out of a lot of the lads, because it's not very often you sit as a footballer and read about yourself for 3 days, and that's on the national level as well as the local level. And now, of course, they take it everywhere in their mobile phones, so they can read about themselves and pat themselves on the back. So that's all gone now. It we put to the side, and the bread and butter of Kidderminster firstly on Saturday, and then when that's out of the way, we'll start concentrating on the trip to Southport.
I mean, you mentioned Southport. I mean, that's another long haul for you. Do you go in with that in mind? Do you allow them time beforehand? Do you work on the time afterwards with the training? I mean, obviously you're not training today as we'd normally be at Ely. Where's the planning for that with you?
Well, Hugo, Mark and I planned this week and next week probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, because we looked at the schedule and we had to have a what if we win against Doncaster and what if we don't. So from that point of view, we knew if we won against Doncaster that the Spennymoor game would be moved to a Tuesday. And again, that's another one that might have to go in before Christmas or not. So this period, whereas people might think we'll have 2 days off, we haven't really. Like I said, I didn't put my head on the pillow till about 5:20 on Wednesday morning, and I was only in bed a couple of hours. So mine, obviously our work is different to the players' work, but I can't expect people to put their head on a pillow for 2 hours. They've got lives as well. They've got children. Some of the lads, they would have semi-recovered on the Wednesday, Thursday. Today's the day of rest, and we'll be back at it tomorrow as a prep day for Kidderminster. So it's a slight change in the schedule, but then we normally wouldn't be sitting on a bus for 4.5, 5 hours on the way up to a game, and then also 5 to 6 hours on the way back because of the road network was closed on the way home. So yeah, that was difficult, but these are obstacles. It seems everything's against us at the moment in terms of what we can't control, but what we can control, we're really happy with.
Tommy, thank you very much indeed for your day.
No problem. Thanks very much, Rich.